Hello everybody, this is David, and today I'm going to be doing a review for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze. This was the second Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film released right after the first one. Literally, this one came out in 1991, the first one came out in 1990. What did I think of it? Let's get into the pros and cons, okay? First we're going to start with the pros, as usual. Something I really love about these earlier Turtle films was the looks and the voices of the Turtles. Specifically this movie. This one, to me, had the best look for the Turtles. The Turtles in the first movie looked really good too, but the second one, there's something about it that felt even better. They felt like the costumes were even more fleshed out than they were in the first one. Even Master Splinter looks really nice to look at. The puppet that they use for him. Splinter's been a puppet in this one and the second one. In this one and the first one. And yeah, the look of Splinter and the Turtles look terrific. Even Shredder looks cool. I love his helmet design with the more spikes on it. Obviously, I think they've maybe put a little bit too much spikes, but it looks cool. It makes him feel more threatening than the last one. And even the looks of Tokar and Razar look really cool. Even the voices. I love the voices in this one. This one is probably the Turtle movie with my favorite voice work for the Turtles and Splinter. Obviously, Kevin Clash returns as Splinter. The voices of Leonardo and Michelangelo also return. The voices of Raphael and Donatello, though, are different in this one. And if you've seen my review for the first Turtles movie, you know that I wasn't, I didn't warm up to Corey Feldman as the voice of Donatello in the first film. But this one, I love the voice of Donatello because, to me, the voice actor sounded like what Donatello, in my mind, should sound like. He sounded more smarter, he sounded more intelligent. So that's what I really enjoyed about this version of Donatello. Speaking of Donatello, to me, he is like much more interesting in this movie too. Not only do they show his more intelligent side, but they also show I like how the story centers a little bit more on him on this one. I mean, I think the Turtles more or less are equally treated. Raphael, I think, again, gets a little bit more spotlight than the others, but not as much as the first film. That's because he's the hot-headed of the group and he like goes out on his own adventures once in a while, I guess. But this one centers more on Donatello because Donatello seems to be the most intrigued about their past. And you really see when Donatello finds out that, oh, it was just an accident on how they became the Turtles. You really see how like disappointed he was because he was hoping there would be something more about them than just being average turtles who were accidentally turned into what they are. The cast, the live action cast are pretty good in this one. I actually like Paige Turco more as April than Judith Hogg. I think she looked more like an April to me. So I think she fit the bill more. Even though I thought Judith, from the first movie, Judith Hogue, I think she did a good job. I felt Paige Turco was more suitable as April. And I like the way she did it better. As the new cast, I really enjoyed Kino. And I liked Kino a lot more than Danny and his father. I thought those two, I didn't like that storyline in the first movie. Kino's storyline is a little bit more cool. I felt he was more down to earth and just like cool with the Turtles. He wasn't like, make him more relatable to us. I mean, yeah, he's there to make us like understand the Turtles a little bit better, but like I felt like he wasn't as annoying as Danny from the first movie. Professor Jordan Perry, played by David Warner. I mean, I love David Warner. If you've seen him in movies like... he's done a lot of voice work, like in Batman the Animated Series. He was the voice of Ra's al Ghul. And he also played... he was in the original Tron as the voice of Master Control. And he was also the... I forgot the character's name, but he was one of the characters within the computer world, and he was also the human character in that movie too. He played three roles in that movie. Most people though might remember him from Titanic. He was in that movie, and he was in many more. But Titanic is obviously the big one. I think that a lot of people will remember him in. To me, he brings a richness to this film because I think he's an incredible actor, and I think he should be used a lot more. I don't see him that much nowadays. I don't know if he's retired or if he's doing anything, but yeah, I'd love to see him in a lot more movies because he has that personality and that brings, I think, richness to a film. And he really worked really well here. He was probably my not just a great character in this movie. He was just interesting to watch. So another great thing that's always enjoyable for me is the ninja rap. I know a lot of people roll their eyes at the ninja rap. There's some people like myself that enjoyed it, you know, that ninja rap, you know, and I know it's corny, but it's a lot of fun to watch Vanilla Ice dancing on stage while the turtles are kicking ass while the music is going. I think it's a lot of fun, and it's corny, like I said, but it's just fun to watch, guys. I mean, this isn't Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. You're already going a little bit silly with mutant turtles, so just have fun with it. I think that's what this movie does right. It has a lot of fun. Where the other movie the first film took itself seriously more. There was still some humor there too, and some things that helped poke fun at itself a little bit. But this one has more fun with it, and that's to me what I enjoyed more from this film. The cons in this movie, I would say Tokar and Razar was a little disappointing to me. I think they looked cool, and the fact that they were like super strong kind of gave them a little bit more threatening, but their intelligence level was kind of disappointing. I know that the director, the writers, whatever, wanted to do Bebop and Rocksteady, but I felt that they didn't come across that. They came more stupid. Bebop and Rocksteady are not the brightest characters in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles universe, but they're not that stupid either. The fact that they called Shredder Mama, for an example, mother, it was... I can't take that seriously, man. I mean, but it was fine. I mean, like, aside from that, I think they were decent. I was also really disappointed with the final fight with Shredder in this movie. I remember as a kid thinking, wow, Super Shredder, this is crazy. But now watching it as an adult, Super Shredder is still cool. It's the way it all went down that was disappointing. How easy and lame it was, you know. I'm trying not to spoil it, but if you ever watch it, which I totally recommend, if you like the first one, check out the second one, because the second one you could either like it just as good or like it a little bit less, but it's one of the better turtle films out there, and I found it really enjoyable. And but the final fight with Shredder is just a big letdown, especially from the first movie where Shredder puts up this really cool fight. Yeah, that's pretty much it on terms of negatives for me. Final thoughts. I'm gonna say this. I gave it a 7 out of 10. I think it's for me personally, I know a lot of people don't like it as much as the first one. I like it more than the first one. I also gave the first one a 7 out of 10, but if I had to choose my favorite of the two, I'd go with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze, this one, because I just like the more fun aspect of it all. Maybe it's because I grew up with the cartoon series that I like the more corny elements of the Turtles, and I like the jokes that they played more with this one. And despite, you know, some of the negatives I had, I felt there were some negatives with the first one too, so it's like, it's not like the first one is perfect. But this one, I like the more fun, corny elements of it all, and I think that's what made it more enjoyable to watch for me. You know, there's moments like where where this couple is going inside a taxi, and Tokar and Razor are destroying the city, and the old guy, he goes to his wife, you know, honey, look, those monsters are wrecking down the telephone poles. And she goes, don't worry about it. Let them get their own cab while they're going inside a cab. I mean, okay, cheesy or whatever. To me, that's funny. But to each their own, and all film is subjective. And if you don't like it as much, that's cool. We can all agree, though, that both films are better than Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, which I'll be reviewing next. Pray for me.